those 5 things in there, for God's sake. We're not just making that crap up. Explain your ideas and why they're important, not just, hey, I could do this. I think it might be interesting. Well, I'm glad that you think it's interesting, you know? Do you think your navel is interesting too? This isn't... I don't really care what they think is interesting. We care about the applicability and things like that. You know, and frankly, put some effort into it. There's been a number of you know, people that submitted things with like 1 or 2 sentences. You know, and it's hard to put any effort into reviewing. Hey, you can't review on 1 or 2 sentences, but honestly, we expect, if we're going to take the time as a group of volunteers to spend our time reading 100 and change submissions, we expect you to put in some time on, you know, trying to get accepted. So. Anyway, sales model. Here's an exciting thing. Oh my gosh. This is your sister.
Oh, hi, sister.
Sorry.
Hello.
We updated the card again. The sales processes, you know.
Can I call you back? Okay. Did who?
We're just her sister's taking our kids home right now on the roads and just making sure that like everything's going okay, like my kids aren't in a ditch, because that would end this talk instantly, I assure you. Everything okay?
They started plowing our street.
Oh, that was good. I'm glad I picked that up. All right. Yay!
I can go home.
Seriously, we were gonna go like get snowblowers and just like blow the street out on our own today. Like I was done. I was not gonna wait for the county. You know, and there were clearly some rough edges on each of the ticket sales cycles. You know, and we say this in email, we say it on Twitter, you know, and we really do try to improve every single round. It's dramatically better. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, the round 2 ticket sales, besides the fact that we weren't charging people's credit cards in that ticket sales, that little screw up, the box itself was on its face. I mean, I was logged in on you know, SSH and loads 170, you know, like, huh, you'd hit enter, you'd wait. Finally, you get a thing. I'm like, this can't be good. This year, even when we were getting slammed, the server was responsive, which was a huge step forward for us. We've done a lot to optimize the code. But on the flip side, you know, there's still, you know, we had errors where we even put a bad link on a page and it screws people up and you get a 403 error. And, you know, and we take it, we feel terrible when it happens. I mean, we're not out here trying to, I mean, people's like, oh, it's just kind of like a hacking challenge to get a ShmooCon ticket, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, look, we totally don't want it to be that, okay? We can't be unlimited in size, but we recognize that we need to have a ticket purchasing process that's as fair as possible to the community. And it's something that we're always evaluating from a technology perspective, from a process perspective. Why do we run our own? We get that question a lot. One, if we outsource this, people take cuts of it. Okay, and we already pay the credit card processing company, and then we have to pay some other company to run this thing. And after a while, you get to the point where 15 or 20% of each ticket sale goes to fees that someone else is doing, right? And we've had a lot of volunteers step up in the last few months saying we're willing to help with ticket sales next year. So I think we'll actually have more eyes on the problem. We'll have more infrastructure. We should be able to solve this, I think, next year. And finally, there's, you know, waiting for lightning to strike. It'll be better next year. Yeah, shut up, Coop. Yeah, so it's gotten better, and I hope it gets better. And the other thing is it's tight integration with the barcode system, and we'll show in a minute our statistics on registration. But that barcode system that was created is awesome when it comes to getting people into the door and running them through the con. So, you know, I don't get phone calls like all day. Okay, yeah, well, she can wait. 3 rounds of ticket sales, 3 prices again this year, which again devolved into not pay what you can, which was the purpose of 3 ticket prices, but it turned out to pay what's available. So at the bottom, you see kind of the important note for last year. We're very strongly leaning toward a flat fee system, 1 ticket price only, and then it'll probably be 1 ticket per transaction. So you get 1 shot to buy 1 ticket, and then you come back in to do it again. And we hope with a highly optimized system with that kind of model, it'll work. We're not totally sold on it, but that's what we're leaning to right now. I don't want to take feedback on that right now. I apologize. I'm trying to push through this other stuff. But if you do have ideas or thoughts, we gladly welcome it in an email. People, you know, it's funny because when ticket sales go off the rails, we get really scathing emails, and we try to reply to every single one personally to get back to people and explain what happened, explain what's going on. We try to post things to the website, and 99 times out of 100, people write back, hey, you know, sorry, just kind of, you know, had to uncork it. I've, you know, just had to get something off my chest, but, you know, I recognize you guys are working, so thanks for your efforts and that kind of thing. So we usually get one really angry email and then one really upset email. It's your sister again. All right, so obviously, and we sold out very quickly. The secondary market seemed more active this year. In years past, the eBay sales were.
Yeah, we'll pick it up. So and we'll figure something else out. Thank you.
Apparently, it was an
Our
emergency.
after-party food place closed early, so we had
We have to figure out food. All right, excellent. I'm going to be like breaking into a 7-Eleven later to get some food. The secondary market usually trailed off a few weeks ahead of the con, where ticket prices and eBay and stuff came down. We didn't see that trail off until right before the con this year. So the secondary market, I think, was stronger. There were more tickets on eBay. Still wasn't a really large percentage of con tickets on eBay, but the prices were certainly at a premium. Ticket sales. So how do we work out this year? So out of 1,423 tickets in the system, 1,070 actually registered. So that's pretty good given the weather, versus 1,287 that checked in last year with basically the same ticket count. So if you're looking for what impact did the weather have, it had about a, what is that, a 8% impact on.
Some of those were barcodes being checked in just to get swag bags, but I don't know.
Yeah, there were a few that were barcodes that people just checked in just to get the bag, but again, that was probably down in the noise comparatively.
Yeah.
So maybe 8 to 10% impact because of 30 inches of snow. So I got to say, as far as like hardy survivalist people go, the security community is pretty hardcore when you still get 90% attendance at a conference like this, when the, historic death-eating snow shows up on our door. So. 53 speakers showed up. We only had one speaker no-show that was critical. He was the one person on his talk. We had a couple of speakers that couldn't make it, but their co-presenters did, so it worked out okay. We had a few extra co-presenters show up, which is always fun. 56 staff, 14-ish press or so. The one thing, normally West Point brings a bus of cadets down, 40-plus cadets. They couldn't make it. They got snowed out. They never made the trip down. So that's actually a pretty big hit, when 40 people don't show up en masse. So we ended up with roughly 1,300 people versus 1,500 and change last year. So overall attendance, especially due to West Point not showing up, was down, but still not bad and not the 8 or 9 people that we thought we might get. So. Money, so again, we always try to tell you what money came in and what money went out. We took in more in sponsorship this year than we did last year. Companies seem to be very interested in getting to you and letting you know their message. There were a lot of vendors here this year, and overall I think it was a very positive experience for the vendors. Ticket sales actually were down a little bit. We sold a few more tickets last year than we intended to. So this year the ticket sales were what we intended to sell, which was about $180,000 worth of tickets. So overall it was about $250,000 in funds that came in. On the way out, hotel space is up a bit this year. A lot of the things were the same. Credit card fees were about, I think, $10K. This is all kind of back of the napkin, and some of it I'll dive into again in a bit. And this is a lot of it's for posterity why I'm showing you here. Ultimately, we about 160,000 went out the door to pay for stuff, and that tab's not even final. We have to wait for the final hotel bill. Overall, so there's about 90K left over, plus or minus 15% is probably our margin of error. 20 or 25K comes out of that for taxes, so we'll have some money left over again to start next year. It's nice to be able to bootstrap with previous year's cash to pay for things and not have to, we have honestly probably one of the easiest conferences to run from a financial perspective because it's deterministic. Right? We know exactly how many people are going to show up. We know when we decide how many tickets we're going to sell, we know we're going to sell out, which is very unique. We're very lucky in that regard. Like, as a group, we are very thankful to the community that you have so much faith in you. And people are always like, you're buying tickets to a conference before you even know the speaker lineup? And I think there's a lot of people that attend ShmooCon without even a second thought, right? People, I don't care. Like, it's going to be good. I could give a crap what the speaker lineup's going to be. I'm sure it'll be something entertaining. And we certainly appreciate the faith that people put in us for that. But, honestly, it makes our job so easy because we know the amount of money we're going to take in. We just make sure we spend less than that, and we have a successful conference from a financial perspective. From other conferences, it's kind of a question. You always wonder who's going to register, how many people are going to show up. And so, again, I can't. And
it's all volunteer.
And it's all volunteer. All these volunteers come in, do all this work, and help out. And it's easier on the volunteers even to know. Again, that gets back, why do you have a number 1,500? It's great to be able to tell the volunteers, this is what we're shooting at. This is how big it's going to be, and it helps everyone plan, and it helps it go as smoothly as it does every year.
We We started out on Super Bowl.
Yeah, the first year was Super Bowl Sunday. This is kind of the full circle year. So I think a number of people, I guess the airports are all still closed down and stuff, so people will be watching the Super Bowl downstairs. I'm sure it'll be enjoyable. The network, Louise, I didn't grab anything from you. Do you have anything specific to say about the labs this year? Just, sure, well, come on up and grab a mic. I was going to try to track you down earlier.
Hello, hello. Different from the past years, we had 40 people, so it was the biggest labs. We got 40 people signing up. We had, I think, 4 no-shows. Everything worked pretty much fine besides the HCP, so not important. Next year, we're going to have an IP address inside the bag, and that's going to be fine. What else? Ustream, we're having problems now, I know, but it's the hotel. We blame on the hotel this time. We're seeing no packet loss to the firewall, but from the firewall to Google's DNS, we're losing 8% packet. So that's it. Information on how to sign up, it's on the website. For next year, it's going to be the same. And what else? Oh yeah, this is the first year we had a mailing list. So before, ShmooCon Labs was sign up. You're going to help us build the network here. Help the network is wireless, podium, like speakers, contests, something else that I forgot. And it used to be show up Thursday morning, day before the con. We have 36 hours or so to do it. Sometimes takes less than that, sometimes takes 4 days, like this time. And so you showed up and it's like, what do you want to do? People are like, what? Wireless, okay. And that's how it worked. This year we had a mailing list on December. Yeah, we started that on December, and people got really active on the mailing list. That was really cool. I thought it was, in the beginning, I'm like, oh, it's just a mailing list. Nobody's going to, low volume mailing list. And guess what? It wasn't. We had about like 170 emails. Heidi wants to kill me. And that's it. And so I guess Ken is not here. Ken helped a lot in the past few weeks when I was traveling. So thanks, everybody. Next year we'll do it again.
Thanks, Luis. The labs guys put in a lot of work. We could come here, run a conference, slap some APs on the wall, and call it good, but we really try to have this as a learning experience, and part of this is a response to, we couldn't really find a clear way to do training that made economic sense for us and for the people attending. We wanted something that was very affordable, and training oftentimes is not the most affordable thing, because, to get high quality training, you pay for it, right? And so instead we do this kind of experiential, hands-on, come in, play with the stuff, learn it, understand it. Some of these, some folks, Force 10, send a giant router, and we got Packeteers, got all these things in there that some people have never seen before, and they get to play with and get their hands dirty with, and it's just a fantastic experience, and it's relatively inexpensive for what they do. And at the end of it, we get a production quality con. We got network to the podiums, network to Ustream. We got all this stuff working. So I can't say enough for all the folks, the effort they put in. So thanks, guys.
You had a bunch of monitoring running. How hostile was the network this year?
How hostile was the network this year is the question. We don't know yet. Well, I think we're going to try to get some post-mortem stuff up online and that kind of thing. I think there's people focusing on the monitoring and they get the infrastructure up, but I'm not sure once they do that, I think they sleep, and they don't really have a lot of time for analysis, because then it's Sunday and we're tearing it all down. So and they've labeled servers this year, so we can actually, in years past, it was, hey, can you just turn on servers until you find this one and then give me the drive? No. With memory, yeah. Oh, sorry. I have this nasty habit of scavenging the servers on the off season to make other servers work as we do ShmooCon upgrades and things. And this year, they had one box that wouldn't boot, and the VGA output wasn't working. And after half an hour, I'm like, oh, that one doesn't have any memory in it. I took all the memory out. You jerk. All right. So real quick, registration again went very smoothly this year. Again, this registration system is something that we've used from the very early days of ShmooCon, and frankly, it's fantastic. One thing you don't see behind the scenes is the registration prep. So starting, obviously, things are delivered to Shea Potter months in advance at times, and then the week beforehand, we have what we call the bag stuffing party. What? Wednesday, so this is the week before, this is 2 days before the con, there, a whole bunch of people descend on our house. We put folding tables, wrapping all over the place.
Move all the furniture.
We move all the furniture out of the way, and we start a production line of people carrying bags of boxes from my garage upstairs into the main area, then people taking the bags out, doing everything, stuffing them, you know, dealing with all the contest stuff, whatever,